Back to the battlefield we tipped out yesterday after Tuesday night's affray. Mornings after big voters, the Commons is seldom as lively. Alarmist hung over the scene, the odd smouldering cannonball in ditches amid severed limbs of once knightly Normans. Oh look, wasn't that Yvette Cooper's lance, with her petite gauntlet still pitifully attached? Was that Dominic Greaves' suit of armor, minus its helmet? Pauvre Dominique. With his amendment disaster, Le Duc d'Autosatis faction certainly had his head blown off on Tuesday. It may be time for a commemorative statue on Boulevard Haussmann. As for once knightly Norman, I don't know how he grabbed into this sketch. A stagehand at the Oxford Playhouse in olden days. Forget I even mentioned him. Theresa May, mostly victorious on Tuesday, received, on her arrival in the chamber at 11. A bigger cheer from Tory troops than she has had for some months. She was stooped and thin, but Tuesday's hard-clawed wins had done her confidence good. Clad in purple, she was unusually brisk with Jeremy Corbyn. She also dealt firmly with Shadow Foreign Secretary Emily Thornberry after Lady Warbles honked up some of her habitual hecklers. While messing Thornberry a terrier she would chase past Vance. Mr. Corbyn needed to retrieve some dignity after his Tuesday pratfall, and he did so to a small extent by pressing Mrs May to accept that the Commons had indicated its distaste for a no-deal Brexit. So it has, but in a way that means nothing in legislation. No deal is still the legal reality if the Commons does not ratify a deal by March 29. For all Mr. Corbyn's efforts, the Labour benches were gloom. Cheers for his questions rose from only a handful of ululating Corbynite beauties. Nicky Morgan, con. Loughborough, was not among a quartet of Tory Remainers who came blowing in together as one after 6 minutes. Mrs Morgan, whose career antennae are not yet completely kaput, has built herself away from the most zealous Remainers and is working with Brexiteer Steve Baker to look for a route to Brexit. This has, one hears, earned her the spluttering wrath of Zubri. Mrs Morgan's shimmy away from Europhile extremism shows that the next phase of the game is upon us. MPs are thinking of their prospects once Brexit has been achieved. Bucci and Mr Baker, a transient leaver, may have calculated that our return to ministerial office will be assisted by being constructive. Kit Malthouse, the housing minister who is trying to broker a Brexit compromise, will be a dead cert for cabinet if his gambit succeeds. Some MPs, quite apart from Carpetschuh Zubri, have damaged their prospects by their Brexit foot stamping. It is hard to see much of a future for the Remainer likes of Greg Clark, P. Hammond, Strange Sandbach, Dottie Letwin and E4, The Engaging Greening. On the Brexiteer side, show-tier figures such as Marc-François have probably put themselves beyond their bail. Purple-faced François is still good value, though. Yesterday he sparked a lashing banter from Speaker Basso, another figure who has been undone by Brexit. Our closing note: as PMQs ended, Tory Chief Whip William Smith was heading for the door when he was patted on the back, in a congratulatory way, by Ronnie Campbell. Mr. Campbell is an old-school Labourman and Eurosceptic. Perhaps was a sign of what Corbynites really think about Tuesday's playwright efforts to neuter Brexit.